I want autonomy and agency. I want to be able to do it on my own, pick the date, make sure that everything is the way that I want it to be, have the meals that I want to have, and then the sex I want to have, and the drinks I want to, like, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just be like, see ya.
Hey there, my name is Sean, and this is Suicide Noted. On this podcast, I talk with suicide attempt survivors and ideators so that we can hear their stories. Every year around the world, millions of people try to take their own lives, end their own lives, and we almost never talk about it. And when we do talk about it, when we engage with people in pain, any kind of pain, most of us are really fucking bad at it. Like, astoundingly bad at it. So one of my goals with this podcast and tour, which happened in October, and other projects, which you'll hear about at some point soon, is to have more conversations and hopefully better conversations with survivors, in large part to help more people in more places hopefully feel a little less shitty and a little less alone. Because I gotta be honest, that's how I feel a lot. So it sucks, and I know that, so I'm doing the best I can. I hope it helps a little bit. You may have noticed that some of our more recent episodes are centering on that tour, and today's episode is no different. But it's kind of unique because I had, with the help of my guest, 2 tour stops in the state of Colorado. And today's conversation, the one you're going to hear, this episode, is mostly the conversation I had in Colorado Springs. And in Colorado Springs, we also had a pretty cool audience, and you're going to hear from them, particularly one person, a lot. And I'm really glad she contributed. And then towards the end of this episode, there's some other stuff that came up in Boulder that we didn't talk much about in Colorado Springs. I hope all of that makes sense. Keep in mind, we are talking about suicide, as we always do on this podcast. Take that into account before you listen or as you listen, but I do hope you listen with a capital L because there's so much to learn. And today I am talking to the aforementioned DeAnna. DeAnna lives in Colorado, and she is, I don't even know how to explain it. Just have a listen. We've never talked for the podcast, other than I've had a few episodes where it's like small groups and we talk, we have like a question we focus on, but one-on-one
Nope.
about suicide, you've just never wanted to do that.
No.
I've asked.
You have.
Here you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going back and forth. No, I mean, I was like, oh wait, you're going to do this? When I come to Colorado Springs? You're not just helping me find the place, you're going to sit and talk? How did our paths cross? And how did you find the podcast? Yeah, better question.
So it was in September, and I had finished a grief support group. I had lost my partner in January of 21. I was going through a lot of grief and loss stuff. My sister passed away through suicide. I used to joke for years that because she did it, I couldn't do it because it had already been done in the family. But here I was, and I was like, I need to know that I'm not alone. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was looking for, a sense of community, that I wasn't the only one who had these thoughts. And I was like, all right. And I didn't want to be talked out of it. That was the other thing. I was like, I do not want one of those feel good, like, it's all going to get better. And I'm like, I don't buy that. And that wasn't the headspace I was in. And so I found yours, and I listened to a couple of episodes, and I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, nobody's trying to talk anybody out of anything, and these are honest conversations, and I don't feel alone. I feel like there are other people who are having similar thoughts and have had similar experiences, and they're willing to be honest about it, and I really appreciated that. I appreciated listening to their stories because, yeah, it just didn't feel alone anymore.
And here we are.
Yeah.
You are an ideator. Is that accurate?
I'm a chronic ideator. I have a very lovely plan.
So we're going to get to the plan. I don't know if you guys, you've never heard anything like this. I've been doing this for 5 years. You are in a very unique situation. Not entirely unique, but it's not common. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You've never tried to take your life.
No.
You are going to take your life.
Yes, I am.
You are going to take your life.
Yes, that's my exit strategy. Yes.
Right.
And it feels very rational.
Well, rational suicide's a whole other thread that I find fascinating, and I want to talk about it because you're the right person to talk about it with.
Yeah.
When did you first think about it? With an exit strategy or just, I'm not sure I want to be on the planet anymore?
Oh, that goes back to childhood.
Okay.
There was a lot of trauma and I wanted to disappear. When I was really little, I wanted to be a mermaid, not because I thought mermaids were cool, but because I wanted to be at the bottom of the ocean because people were far away. And then when I figured that was not a realistic life goal, and then I was like, all right, well, then I'm going to be a mortician.
Oh, wow.
Because living people scare me and I don't like them and they hurt me and I'm just going to work with the dead. And then my mother put the kibosh on that. And then I was like, well, how about if I just be invisible? And then I spent a lot of my time just kind of leaning into the background.
This is like teenage years into early adulthood?
Yeah. Yeah, fascinated with death. I went to boarding school. My first roommate got freaked out because I put dead baby obituaries on my little cork board when everybody else was putting pictures of like Corey Haim and Corey Feldman and River Phoenix. I had dead baby obituaries.
I like your choice.
For me, it made sense because it was a reflection of the fact that everybody dies.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Everybody dies, even babies die.
Corey Haim?
And yeah, and I was very comfortable thinking about my own mortality, even at that age, even as an adolescent. I was like, yeah, I'm going to die and I need to embrace it. You know, life happens, you fall in love, you meet a guy, yada, yada, yada.
Not in Mexico.
Not in Mexico. But then the guy dies.
Which
and
guy?
Then my partner, John, in January of 21. And then that was it.
So we fast forwarded a few years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a life and yeah.
During that life, you never moved closer to executing any plan? It was just that ideating?
Because my sister had committed suicide when she was 15. I was right before my 21st birthday.
Okay.
And that just blew everything up. And I was like, oh, I can't. My thought was I can't do that to because there was still a little brother involved. So he was 3 at that point. He was 3. She was 15. I was just getting ready to turn 21.
The same parents?
Different parents. It's a whole nother.
That's a different podcast.
But I didn't want to leave him. I felt like the trauma that was being experienced in that household, if I left him alone to face that alone, I didn't want to do that. For me, it was you don't leave a comrade in arms behind. And it was literally, it felt like a war zone. And so I stuck around for him. And it was hard because there were moments where I really just wanted to go.
Then this is way before the current exit strategy. Mm-hmm. So you were thinking about it.
Yeah. How can I just disappear? I just want to go away.
How did you cope? Like for me, it's really hard to just live a quote normal life.
Yeah.
I feel that way sometimes.
I had a lot of therapy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of therapy.
No, what about the drinking and drugs?
No, because I'm a control freak.
That amazes
because of
me.
all
I
the
knew
abuse,
this about you. I don't get it.
Because of all the abuse, control and safety were the primary things. And I was not going to go down that road and lose my sense of control.
Right.
I wasn't going to be able to.
A little boring, but smart. Hey, do what you got to do.
I like boys. That's my vice. How about that?
You like boys? Everyone's got a vice. We're two. How are we going to get to this plan? No, I'm serious.
Just ask about it.
I know, but I want to set it up because you have a specific date.
I do have a specific date.
Not a date range.
No, not a date range. A specific date.
Now, I think most people would expect your specific date to be in the near future, because it's so specific, but it's not.
No.
How far out is it?
It's 19 years tomorrow.
Why tomorrow?
Because tomorrow is 10/24, and the date is 10/24/44, and it's that date because my sister hung herself July 31st of 1995, and then her body finally expired on October 19th, 1995. And then my grandmother died on October 22nd of 2003. So I figured that's a nice little space for us to kind of all, cosmically meet in that week of
makes sense
when our bodies go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But why do you want to die? That's big. I know.
Why?
Well, it's big.
No, not really. I mean, it's very practical and it's very rational. So part of it, so we've talked about safety and security and control. So I don't have a partner. I'm not anticipating having a partner. Even if I did, I don't know if after my partner's death, I don't know if I could trust that person would stay with me to the very end. Like precluding them from dying before I do. And then I'm in this same crappy mess. I don't trust strangers to take care of me when I'm old and gray. We've had this conversation before. I struggle getting people to come around me now when I'm able-bodied, relatively young, and I got money in my pocket. Like, I can't even imagine trying to get people to come around when I'm old and gray and decrepit. And I don't want to go like that. That feels really vulnerable and really scary. And I want autonomy and agency. I want to be able to do it on my own, pick the date, make sure that everything is the way that I want it to be, have the meals that I want to have, and then the sex I want to have, and the drinks I want to, like, just do it. And then just be like, see ya.
I don't think, you think you're going to be making that example? See ya. I don't like, sorry to joke here, y'all, but like.
Goddess know me. And there's a very real possibility that I just be like, bah.
Do you want to share other details about that? In terms of setting?
Well, so it's, so I want the, overlook of Kilk Rock, which is on the Isle of Skye in Scotland. And, it is, I calculated it. I pushed it into the computer because I don't know that much about physics. And I was like, well, how long does it take a 150-pound body? And the computer's like, it doesn't matter how much you weigh. Right. It's physics.
That's basic physics. I mean, it's going to be weird, but like, that's so basic.
It's about 3 seconds. It's a 3-second drop from top to bottom.
That's a long 3 seconds.
It's okay. It's fine. Yeah. So then you're dropping into the North Sea. God. And so between the rocks, the fact that I'm going to be a 70-year-old human doing this, and then the cold North Sea, even if I survive the fall, it's 2 minutes to you drowned.
So again, it says ChatGPT? How do you know?
Again, calculations. Oh, yeah, you just Google, like, how long does it take a body to drown? It's like 2 minutes.
It's going to flow.
What's going to float? My body when I die?
No, before. We don't have to get into all that.
No.
Just want you to die if you want to die is my point.
Yeah.
It won't matter. If you do somehow survive the fall, you will not be in any position to do anything right.
No.
Whatever. You're not.
Who's going to come and get me? I'm going to be at the bottom of a cliff in the North Sea in October.
Right.
No, there's not going to be anything to recover.
It's not going to end with some like gorgeous Scottish guy coming in and just like saving the day and then they make it some fucking Disney movie.
No, this is not Highlander. No, this is not Outlander. No, Sam Heughan's not coming to my rescue. So it's okay.
No, it's because that's all. You don't want that.
No.
You want it to be gone.
I want it to be gone while I can still do it on my own. People are like, what about 80? I love Harold and Maude. And they're like, you could be like Maude. She did it when she was 80. Yeah.
Really?
My ex-husband does. He's like, come on, be Maude. I'm like, no. 80's too old.
Don't people say things like 80's the new 70?
I don't know if I can get my body off a cliff at 80. I know I can get it at 70.
Now we're getting to it. Now we're getting to it. True. Okay. All right. So there's some people that know this, like an inner circle, I imagine.
Yeah,
you're not blasting it on TikTok?
No, I'm not blasting it on TikTok.
Does anybody like, what the fuck?
No.
Everyone's like, oh, cool?
No, that's not true. Some people are like, I don't want to talk about that. Or they say, that's not okay. I've had people tell me that's not okay. And I'm like, well, okay. I'm sorry it's not okay for you, but it's not your life.
I wonder what they mean.
It means when you talk about suicide, people have a very visceral response of like, I don't want to talk about that. Don't say that. It makes me uncomfortable. Sitting with somebody's pain makes other people very uncomfortable. And I completely get that. And if it's uncomfortable for them to listen to, how do they think it feels for me to carry? Right? Like part of it is I'm trying to share this incredibly heavy weight so that I don't have to carry it by myself forever. Like, can you just carry it for a couple of minutes? Can we just have this conversation?
Right.
Or can we talk about it a little bit more, right? Like, I was telling you about my friend in New Jersey, and she's just like, yeah, I'll go with you, and we'll have a couple of drinks, and we'll make it good, and it'll be, and I'm like, great, just don't talk me out of it. Just don't try to talk me out of it.
What'd you say?
Because that'll piss me off.
Right. You think she's setting you up?
No.
She's the same age?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's going to be, she's 70, yeah. She's going to be like, no, and she's going to grab your cane?
No.
No. She's going to be there for you.
Yeah.
Not everybody from New Jersey is like this. I'm from New York. I don't know where you're from. Some people from New York and New Jersey are not like that.
Yes.
You know? Okay. All right. We'll talk. Cool.
So everything's paid for. The funeral's paid for. Got travel insurance. So if they find a body, if there's a body to bring back, they could bring it back. That's all bought and paid for.
This is truly like rational suicide.
Yes.
But with the backdrop, if that's the right word, of like a lifetime of pain. Because you were, in
Yeah.
parts, in some part. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but
Yeah.
you were talking about these times where you did want to die. And
Absolutely.
you stopped yourself for these other reasons.
Well, and part of it is, it makes me sad because I wish there was a way that I could guarantee that I could have somebody there and like hold my hand and like just give me like a magic drug, like, or, you know, or just hold my hand and be with me as I take my last breath. Like if I could have somebody that I could trust and not some random freaking strangers, you know, because like that doesn't feel good to me because they're not going to be there and they're not going to really help me because they don't get. I don't know. They don't give two toots. They're just getting paid minimum wage and like, I'm not doing that.
There is a fictional pill.
There's a fictional pill.
And you've shared with me, you have some people in your life that you can be honest with, right? Like legit.
Yeah, I can be honest.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. But they're living their own lives. Like part of it is like, I don't want to bother people. And like, if you were to ask me, like, who would you call at 3:00 in the morning? That's a whole nother talk show. I don't want to bother people. People are living their lives. Like, and that's totally, and I'm super excited about that.
I wouldn't ask you about 3:00 in the morning because that's more of the like,
but that's when things
crisis thing. I'm not even talking about crisis. I'm just talking about shitty.
Dark.
Okay, for you, that's when they get dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late at night.
Right.
When everybody else is in bed. And I'm just like, because then it occurs to me that I don't have a partner, that I can't turn to somebody because like when John was alive, I could talk to him all the time.
Right.
3:00 in the morning, like I'm having a really bad dream or I'm having this really bad thought or, you know, let's have this conversation.
Yeah. Single people. Yeah. It's hard.
It's a profound sense of loneliness.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had a real long-term partner. So I wonder if this thought came to me of like, would I rather have had and lost or I actually think I'd rather not have had. I don't think I could handle having a long-term partner for a while, however they're gone. I think my constitution just would flip the fuck out. So it must be hard.
I definitely did that.
You flipped the fuck out?
I did.
Think about it then?
No, because I had the dog to take care of and I promised him that I would take care of the dog.
Right.
He said, if anything happens to me, promise me you'll take care of the dog.
And the dog's still there? Wow.
She's still there. Which sucks. And I was so angry and I was like, oh, if this dog wasn't here, I could go.
But you wouldn't go, right? Because it's the long-term thing. You're going to wait.
No, if she was gone, if there was no dog, and if I had access to a firearm, I would have been gone a long time ago.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, so if there's no dog and if you had access to it, but you're in Colorado, doesn't everyone have a gun here?
I don't.
I mean, I don't want you to do it, but I'm not encouraging. I'm just saying.
I don't have a gun for that reason.
Right.
Because it would be way too tempting.
Right.
Way too tempting.
It's a guarantee. Yeah, I had a couple. I've had three or four conversations. Not a lot where people did try with a gun and they're alive.
Yep.
Functioning.
Yep.
Not ideal.
I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So yeah, no dogs, no me. That's definite. And then people are like, well, we'll just keep giving you puppies.
Right. But it's that dog.
It's that dog.
What happens when that dog dies?
I
didn't make it 19 more years.
No, I told her no pressure, but she's got to live as long as she can. So I have 3 dogs and I've timed it so that the last one, I should be like 65 when she goes. And then I'll be like, all right, I'm on my own. And now I can like just wrap it up.
I think that's pretty common. That's one way people get through. Animals.
Yeah, it's a responsibility.
And we can all agree dogs are better than people, right? I mean, in most ways.
Some people. Yeah.
But
some people are pretty awesome.
Some of them right here.
Yeah.
But almost everyone not here, dogs are better.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. I don't know about every breed, but like most of them are better. Yeah. If you know. Yeah. You're not supposed to laugh when you're talking about suicide.
Sorry.
You didn't get that.
I'm fired.
That's the rule. You got to be very serious. It's very dark.
It is very dark.
No.
Now,
even if you want to laugh, I can't allow it.
It's going to be a good time until the end.
Right.
And even then, it's not going to be a bad time. It's just going to be a couple of seconds and that's it.
It's going to be an interesting few seconds, though.
But it's a lot shorter than sitting in some crappy nursing home bed surrounded by strangers who don't feed you, don't wipe you, abuse you. Like, there are sexual assaults right, left, and center in nursing homes. I'm not doing that. Been there, done that, bought that t-shirt. I'm not. And I'm determined. I'm really stubborn.
You haven't budged at all on this.
I'm really stubborn. Because I don't trust people. That's the bottom line. I don't trust that they'll be good to me at the end.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this question, because we've talked about it just as two humans talking about it, and it may have come up on one of these other conversations for the podcast, but that was a group thing, which is not common for me to do. What do you think is the biggest myth or misconception around? It doesn't have to be suicide, right? It can be about pain or loss or grief. It could be about, like, what's the stuff you're like, you don't get it. They all might kind of get it, but by and large,
that if you're an ideator, you're not mentally ill. I don't feel mentally ill at all. I feel well within my faculties and capacities. I have a therapist. I see my therapist.
You have a job.
Got a job, making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not mentally ill. This feels like a very rational, logical decision. Who would sign up to, like, sit in some crappy nursing home in their own feces, being sexually assaulted by other patients and staff, and, like, left to die alone? Like,
I wonder when it became a
who
thing.
signs up for that?
No, there are people.
That sounds mentally ill.
Right. I wonder when it became a thing, like a common thing in culture or wherever, like that. If you're thinking about ending your life equals mental illness, that's an interesting jump. I don't know when that happened, or if that's, I think that is generally what people think.
Mm-hmm.
That seems very strange to me. Of course, there's some overlap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we know mental illness, suicide. There's a big connection.
Yeah.
That's what gets a lot of the, what would you say? Focus.
Yeah.
And people like you are not the focus.
Mm-mm.
And so we don't learn a lot.
Mm-mm.
I don't think.
No. And then when I have conversations with folks and I lay it out and they're like, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm like, I know.
Right.
That's why I'm doing it.
But you need a little space.
19 more Christmases and I don't want them to be crappy.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. When you have a finite date, it makes everything so much sweeter. Right? Because you're just like, yeah, I want to make this amazing because it's not going to be like this forever. And the reality is that it's not going to be like this forever for anybody.
Right.
At some point, we all have expiration dates.
The idea,
at some point, our bodies give out. At some point, our kids move away. At some point, whatever.
Right.
But people don't think about that. I live with my own mortality in front of me a lot. And I'm like, I want to choose this, but not that because I want this. This is beautiful. This is good. This is kind. That's a waste of my time. And I'm on a very short time. So it makes sense.
No, it makes so much sense, but I'm too something to do it. I don't know what the word is. I was going to use a bad word, a French word.
You said pooping?
You know what I'm saying? But I can't do it. I don't imagine me being able to take my life. But I think about it all the time. That's a weird space to be in. But I don't tell many people that. You know why?
Yeah. There's lots of reasons.
It's because people fucking suck at listening. And I'm done trying to explain shit when they don't create space to listen. But I'm preaching to the choir. Guess that's why I started the damn podcast. That's why. It's just so ridiculous how bad people are at it. I wonder if that's just like what I'm attracting. There are good people that are good at it. But like not a ton. Like maybe 7. And 4 of them are in the room. So the 3 others are somewhere spread out around the globe. So good luck. It's hard. I mean, I'm being joking, but still it's hard.
It is hard.
I really wonder if we were able to like ask people and they had that they think like a truth serum. Like what percentage of people would be like, sometimes I think about it. I think I don't want there to be a lot, but I think kind of not a small amount.
Yeah.
Because I was in the hotel yesterday in the lobby and I was having a conversation with somebody at the bar. Overpriced drinks. Just too much. And I just thought like, there's like 10 people in the lobby and I'm sure at least one of them, maybe 2 of them think about this stuff. Yeah, maybe more. And I'm not saying we should be always talking about it with everyone always. That would also be weird. But like, we talk about a lot of stuff. We just don't talk about this. And it would help, I think, some people if they could be more open about it. But that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, we're open about a lot of stuff. I
That's
know
the
a
thing,
lot of
right? We're
stuff
open
about
about a
my
lot of
friends'
stuff.
sex lives, and I'm just like,
Right.
I know very little about their suicidal ideation.
Right.
I'm like, how come we can talk about that, but we can't talk about this? Because when you try to talk about this, people are like,
It's on a short list of things that people are so uncomfortable about that are not felonies.
yeah.
Well, I think you pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain felonious behavior, like
Yeah.
hurting animals, hurting little kids. You're like, no, fuck you, and I'm not going to listen to that shit, right? But things that aren't felonies, it's a short list, and suicide's on the top of it. Of like, nope, super uncomfortable, not okay with it. Let's move on.
Yeah.
What else is there? I know we don't have to like brainstorm, but it's a short list. All right, got a question. It's the pink and purple pill question. It's one of my favorites. Pink, and I want to tell you why I asked this, but I'll do it after. But the pill allows you to, if you take it, you go to sleep and there's no pain and you don't wake up. Nobody knows it is a suicide. What would you do with it?
I hold it until October 24th of 2044.
Do you change your plans? You don't have to take a flight to Scotland now.
I know. I'm still going to Scotland. It's a beautiful view. If that's the last thing I'm going to see, yeah.
So why are you saving it?
Because I've got dogs to get across and I've got some people to help and I got some stuff to do.
Right, but you already have a plan to leave. Why do you need that pill?
Then I don't have to jump.
Oh, that's what I'm asking. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can just take
I thought you liked the romance or something around the jumping.
No, it's just guaranteed.
Right. This is more guaranteed.
This is more guaranteed. Yeah, the pill would be great because then, I don't have to jump. I can just lay there.
Yeah.
And look. And like,
and I think it's a weird question for someone that like, why would you ask that? That's the reason. I want to just gauge, do you want to be alive or not? Now, what would the flavor be of the pink and purple pill if you could choose anything you want?
Creme brulee.
What?
Because you asked what flavor. I like it to be creme brulee. If it's the last thing I'm going to swallow.
Somebody I talked to yesterday, I remember you said, can I add something? Sure. I said, well, can I have like certain images, like a dreamlike image of the happiest memories of my life? I was like, sure. Wow. Yeah, not bad. Look, I'm going to say no.
I like that. No, don't get that when you die.
It's very clear what it does. You may not. Now, I know from prior discussions that you have tried a bunch of stuff to feel okay and be better and cope and deal. I don't think I've ever asked this question quite like this. What's one thing you would never do?
I will never go to a psych ward.
Because?
Because of control and safety. And having been, so for a brief period of time, I was an intensive outpatient case manager. And I've been in those spaces from the case management. It's not helpful. Mm-hmm. It's brutal. It's like prison. When people were talking about the stupid coloring sheets, there are a crap ton of coloring books. And I'm like, seriously.
This is for grown-ups.
This is for grown-ups.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to call 911. I'm not going to call 988. I'm not checking myself in. I'm not doing it. Control and safety.
Right.
Because that all goes away the moment you step through those doors.
Which sad.
It is, because you would expect that people would be able to get the support that they need. But there's really for people who know the system, there's really no good place.
If you're a gazillionaire, there's probably like 4 or 5.
It's just nicer prison.
Well, if you're going to let go, if you're going to say, I need help, there's going to be some degree of control you're letting go of, right? Because you're literally saying, help me.
And the professions and the professionals look at you like, oh, you're weak, you're incapable.
Well, that's a whole...
And we're taking over. You're indicating that you can't do it, and we're going to take over. Well, here's when you can eat, here's what you can eat, here's what, I just like...
It doesn't need to be that way, right?
No.
Of course not.
Because at the end of the day, I just want a hug, or I just want somebody to come and sit with me, or take a walk.
But of course, they would be like, that's what a crazy person said. That's what would happen. She's clearly not well.
Oh, my goodness.
She needs a lot more.
No, I can articulate what I need in that moment.
I remember being in my therapist's office before I was sent. And it was like, I said to him, I need a walk in the woods with my friend, mm-hmm. which I didn't have. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, there's some real truth to that. I mean, it was a little bit like, okay, Sean, you need more than that. I know I need more than that, but don't discount it. Like a little nature and a good human being next to you. No, it's not going to be the treatment for schizophrenia. But I don't have that. She's like, I just need things to calm down. And for me, that is not what happens when you go to those places. It's not. So anyway, that's my experience. Yeah. And some people I talk to. I also realize I get a self-selected group of humans. So my my guess, probably skew towards bad experiences, but they're suicide attempt survivors. And if it was an amazing experience, they might not have tried to kill themselves ever again and never look for that podcast. So I get a group of people that might have some similar thoughts about that, but not always.
Well, anybody who's ever been to the hospital can tell you, like, you get no rest in the hospital.
Right.
They're constantly coming into your room, taking this, taking that. And it's like, oh, holy crap. Like and that's people who are recovering from an actual physical piece. It's the same boop, boop when you go to a psych ward. You're just like, I just want rest. I want to be wrapped in this is what I would want. I would want to be wrapped in a cocoon, give me some creme brulee and a nice glass.
This has come up twice, the creme brulee.
It's delicious.
Do you see a thing pattern emerging? Okay. Yeah. No creme brulee for you. Not there. Although actually my stay there, the food was the one really good.
Nice.
I got fat there. I was just like, put on some weight because there was nothing else to do. It was that or go to the group thing where I was a grown man and they were like, let's set some goals for you today. I'm like, I don't want to set some fucking goals. I want to get the fuck out of here and I want you to help me. I don't need goals. See, I did it again.
Here's your grippy socks.
French. What? I kept my grippy socks for a long time. I think they're gone now. Anyone else have grippy socks? Raise your hand if you've had grippy socks. Oh, you don't know what we're talking about, do you? You've seen them in movies, I'm sure.
When you go to the hospital, they don't want you to slip and fall.
Do you have grippy socks? You've worn them? Share more. This is a good time to transition.
I was institutionalized when I was 19. So I spent about 2 weeks suicidal my whole life. But yeah, I mean my state was I think it's what you're talking about. There is gonna be some level of control. You're under like the responsibility of somebody else, right? Or someone you're a legal liability too. Like if you look at the bigger scope, right? Like if something does happen to you under their care and gets like we've built a society.
But that's how it's built.
Like so it's like is it only like some limitation. But yes, I've had gripping socks many times. Gripping socks, yeah. They were warm.
What colors are yours? They were
cream.
Oh, cream. Yeah, the blue ones are like someone's making a lot of money with the blue socks. Yellow. They're like, can we make green ones? We're like, nah, man, the blue is working. Why do we got to change? We're crushing it with the blue.
Yellow.
We're blind. You got yellow?
Yellow ones.
Yeah. Is this a whole thing? No. Do you want to go back?
I got it.
That's the only way you're getting the socks.
I actually have a question.
Sure.
I have a young person that recently disclosed that they were having super suicidal ideation. And as a person that has struggled with it my whole life, it was so hard for me to go into like what I've been trained to do as a human, as an adult, and it felt so fake because we can just like I don't know. My kiddo, I have 2 kids, and one of them has struggled with suicide, and we've talked about it very blatantly. Like, yeah, that's a very normal feeling, and we sat down like family was like, yeah, I felt that too, and you know, and helped him kind of navigate those feelings. But I did feel like it was this hard space where it was like, I feel like I've been trying to tell people like, you're going to feel better or it's going to get better. Right. And, it was kind of mentioned lightly of like how to respond. I think the difficult part is that I also felt like a liability, right? I was like, if this person does succeed, their mother, I'm going to be the last person they called. You know? And I didn't know how to process through that because I think I'm a person that believes in death and I'm very comfortable with it. I think it's just like life. It was hard to like hold space for this human.
This is your kid or no? Not your kid.
This is not my kid, but I would say like I support a lot of young people, and so this is like one of my closest young people. So it's like my kid. Like I've seen them develop and grow as support. And they had already done some things when they called me.
Right.
And I just was like, I'm gonna keep your phone. I'm not gonna call the cops on you because you're a Black human. And
the whole right. Wow.
Yeah, but not knowing what next steps to do. You know what I mean? Like totally not like in this really weird place where I was like, I wanted to be like, yeah, I totally get it. But then also was like, ooh, am I being a liability?
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say liability?
I mean it in the sense of like, being the last person talks to, right? Or like what, like, I don't know, in this really weird space where we feel like we have control over like getting someone off the edge. But I know as a person that has attempted, there's no way to get this person off the edge. That person has to get themselves off the edge.
And your role is you're referring to your job primarily, right?
This is like a mentor. This is not a job. Like with this relationship, it's not a job. Like,
okay.
Because
that sometimes brings with it other things you have
no anymore, right? Yeah. If it was just like my job, I would have had to call, like, and it didn't even matter.
Or risk things
exactly
for yourself.
But now our relationship is extended. She is 25 years old. You know what I mean? And she's really in it. She's in the thick of it. So I just wanted to hear, like, what does one do, right? Like, how did you work through other people that, like, we're talking about having this conversation with other people, right? And feeling like people don't hold space. And then the flip side is that it is really hard to hold space for that shit.
Yes.
Right? Well, like, even as a trained professional, right? There's layers to the way you can hold space for it.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a parent, I'm like, I want to be honest and open. And if my kids were like, to feel it, you know, that is what it is. I don't want to say it is what it is, but they get to choose.
Right.
So that internally, that's not what I've been trying. Right? I'm supposed to try to save everyone's life, essentially. But then also, like, part of not wanting to have those conversations because people don't know how to hold space for those conversations. Like, what does one say? You don't want to encourage. Discouraging is not going to help either. So,
what do you think? I have some thoughts, but it's not probably what you're expecting.
That's good.
I would say, so for me, one of the things, and this actually came up when we were having a member meeting or something, and one of the people on the call said that they weren't going to be there for the next month. And there was like this very pregnant pause. And my response was, is there anything that we can do with you in between now and that moment? Is there a meal that you want? Can I come over and we could just hang? Like, if this is really it, then let's do some really cool stuff. Like, let's make these moments happen, because in that moment, it felt like I was validating their choice. And sometimes people just need to have some good moments to kind of link one to another. And it becomes this like behavioral momentum. So you're like, wow, somebody showed up. We went out, we had a burger, we had some laughs, we saw a stupid movie, whatever it is.
That's preventative.
Maybe I can get up tomorrow morning and maybe we can do something else cool. You know, so for me, that felt really natural and really appropriate in that moment to at least offer that, because that's what I would want somebody to say to me. Not to try to talk me out of it, but to be like, okay, cool. I'm coming over. If this is it, then we're going to do some really cool stuff between now and whenever that moment is. And
she still live?
Yeah. Which is amazing and super cool.
Yeah.
But it acknowledges that stuff is hard, and maybe we can string a couple of good moments together, and it'll make a difference. I know it would make a difference for me.
Yeah.
So
that's what I've been doing. So, and right in the point, but I didn't expect her to actually take 8 bills and call me. We went to a film festival. I took her out to all these things. And
so you're dealing with somebody who's trying. Like no, but that's just actively like, while you were talking to them, they ingested pills. They were overdosing. That's a little different. Okay.
I had taken her out to lunch. He delivered Trader Joe's lunch.
Yeah.
We were sharing recipes. And then the next day,
right.
You know, just like,
oh, wow. What did, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I've never been in that situation.
I know this. So it's like, do I, institutional cops on you, but also like, I'm a liability, right? Like in my position, you know, a lot of different spaces I can be seen as a liability. And so that it puts you in a very weird circumstance.
That's true.
I kept her on the phone for like 7 hours.
That's probably wise.
Yeah. I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? And I think this conversation is like really I'm not triggering it, but it's really making me feel like I want us to be more honest. The stigma around it. I think that we still also have a solution or understand or methodology of how like that's right. Like that, to me, that's what I need sometimes, right? So, but I still think that there's a gap of knowing how to support someone through that as a society. And so it does make people feel uncomfortable because it's like, how do I support you? And then also it's like, I don't want you to. I think the hardest thing I've ever heard is my son telling me he wants to kill himself.
I bet.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't want to hear that from someone you love. You know? And so I think I would have loved a better culture that can talk about it. But I also think that we don't have the complete tools of how to support each other either. And ideology and actual completion is two different things, right? I think ideology is very normal. I think it's weird, actually, a person never thought.
I agree.
In today's day that's freaking burning, hey, maybe I don't like it here.
Sure.
You know?
To stay here on the earth side of things.
Yeah, because it's like, why are we even here?
Yeah.
You're value
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're a mutation of who knows what
Right.
came together. Like, how do we lose the mission and go? Because baby, it's not given, right? So
That's right.
you know, like, so I don't understand the other side, but I also think that we don't have the support or understanding of how to support each other through those conversations enough.
And I don't think we do. I don't know if we ever will. There's a part of me that's like, it's 2025 and I want to say that we will. But I think what you did was great. I think staying on the phone with.
Oh no, I said, you shut down and saw me. I'm in I took the police and me together. I will drive up to Denver, but I think.
Okay, so they're an hour away in Denver.
Yes, which is
that was kind of like what was going through my mind. It's like,
and I was also a little pissed. I'm not gonna front. You know what I mean? In a selfish way.
Because they had already taken the 8 pills. So that's already done. And where my mind kind of went was, and one of my favorite people on earth, and I've never actually met her, is Ashley Judd. But when her mom died by suicide, she was like, it's already done. And she had a couple of choices in that moment to be like, do I call 911 and get emergency services here now? Or do I just be with my mom? And she was like, I'm just going to be with my mom. I'm not going to. And I think what you did,
and that was another component as a person that has had so many ideology. Maybe and I get that close and you start thinking that I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be big mad. Because I think it takes a certain amount of courage to get there, if you ask me. Like, I think suicide is the hardest thing that I think a human can do, to be honest. I think Catholicism has taught us, or religion has taught us that it's like, what is it called? A cowardly man.
Of course.
But I think it's the hardest thing to do. And so another piece of me was like, it is what you want. Because I also think, like, I think in Seattle, I have it legalized.
It is.
Right.
And it's Oregon.
Yes. Whereas if you're
if you have like a terminal illness. I mean, not like your suicide, like if you have a certain kind of cancer, yes.
Well, what I'm saying is that I think that should be an option for people.
Absolutely. And in parts of Oregon, it is changing to where it doesn't have to be a terminal illness. It's self-assisted suicide if you live in that county. But you have to live in that county for like 6 months and a day or whatever to be a resident, to be.
Colorado has it on the ballot.
That's not even medical.
Then if it's not medical, what do you mean? Like, because I always wonder, like, the moment you have to ask somebody else, essentially permission, you have to decide if I'm right. Then
self-assisted.
So what is it?
It's still suicide because it's still the person giving their of sound mind and their own cognition saying, I want to.
But somebody else has to give them the stuff. And I'm not saying it shouldn't be that. Somebody's deciding you're eligible to kill yourself.
I don't know the eligibility thing. I have to look it up. But
it's somebody else decided. That's my point. Oh, I don't know how it. Okay. It's pretty progressive.
I don't think you can. If someone wants to, they have access to.
Wow.
They have access to, yeah.
This is in a county in Oregon.
There's a county in Oregon in parts of Seattle. There was a special on Dateline and 2020 that both did this. And the person that is administering it came into the room. The woman that wanted to die by suicide was giving her verbal permission, but then, of course, tons of paperwork, her signature. But then she said, I'm going to give this to you. You won't wake up. But she's surrounded by friendly fans.
Right. Well, that's what happens when you get to go out on your own terms.
When you get to go out on your own terms.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, and for me, and the Judds are very spiritual, so they're not, but it's a very beautiful spiritual. It's not I guess gross, for lack of a better word, gross, trained religion. Theirs is not religion at all. It's just Mama Judd wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
And,
he likes the Judds, I can tell. He really likes the Judds.
I mean, I was raised on their music. I was raised on their music and Aretha Franklin. So, like, both of, and so.
Ashley's the younger one or the older one?
Ashley's the younger one.
Bit of a knockout.
Yes. She's an actress. I think all three of them are.
Yeah, they are.
But, yeah. And they have a half brother.
Oh my God. You know a lot about the Judds. But I think you're almost to the point where I'm concerned. Like, just want to answer it up.
I saw one when she came to the Sunset 40th of the year. I went to Leona's concert.
Love that.
Yeah, I was raised on her music.
Come on, man.
I know that's great. She looks amazing. But she's just, I think, getting back to your question, I just think, I don't know, I think that's the best, most beautiful thing you could do in that moment. Because so many people would want to stop it. And a part of me, and maybe it's in my training, on my upbringing, up near Yellowstone, lived there for 18 years of my life. And then the minute I can get out of that town, I definitely did. But a part of me is like that whole going back to the talking the person out of it. And I don't ever want to talk somebody out of if that was their decision. But then there is a part of me that's like, I'm glad that you're still here. I'm glad
that's it too, right? And I'm also like, I'm not trying to be ageist, but it's like, you're 25 and it is hard and you're going to have really hard moments. And it's, but some things do get harder, and there are still moments of joy that you can still experience, right? And for me on LA spiritual, it's just like a duality. We can't have suffering without joy. That's my belief system. So it's like, it's just duality, and it sucks, and it's laying here, and it's together, and it plans to never come back. But, here you are. Yeah, I just wanted to hear more about, like, which request do we land on, right? Like, am I like, it's okay to feel like this and just sitting in that space, or am I not encouraging, but not discouraging? And it's really, I have found that not discouraging actually it's better for that human in the long run, but also it becomes a liability as the last human that they might talk to on the phone. So, like what do we do, and how do we normalize it? Right?
What normalize what?
Talking about suicide, because I think if someone's in a hotel, like you were in a hotel, right, and you don't know what that person's gonna go to their room and do.
No, I don't even think about it though. Should I? I mean that not as in a should I screw you? No, I wonder, because I have a very laissez-faire, perhaps too much. Like, you're a grown-up, man. You want to enter into this conversation? Let's go. Let's do it. And it doesn't matter to me. Maybe.
I think when someone's younger,
maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
That's fair. That's fair. Right. I mean? In this particular case, this person was not younger.
Exactly. But I think if I'm having that conversation with someone like that's older, I'm like, you've seen the world a little bit more. Right? That decision feels a little bit more. But then I'm listening to you and knowing my experience, like I've been having suicidal ideation for a very long time.
Thanks.
So it's like, who am I?
What do you mean?
At what age to tell you that it is okay for you to feel a certain way if you've been feeling it and suffering through it? Like listening to you say that, I was like, oh shit, I was the wrong one. Damn. You know what I mean? And so I just wonder, like, is it fair to also put that category of like, you're only 25, when in fact, maybe you've been thinking about, and that's what she told me. It's like, I've been thinking about this since I was 5.
Whoa.
So what happens in those situations?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think we have answers.
No, we don't.
We have to start clearing out, like, let's destigmatize talking about suicide, I think we also need to plan of how to have conversations too, right? And how to hold space for others.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are not in her situation, right? They're just talking, thinking about something, and comes up. They didn't swallow 8 pills. That's why I think it's also an astoundingly, like, we're just so bad at it. And that's a much larger group of people. I don't have data, but for every person that's like got a gun and has pills, like there's a whole lot more people that are swirling around. They're just thinking about it. They might get into that space one day. They might not. It's like, I always think people that are in the space between, they are the ones that we do not listen to. They're kind of like people, like if you're going to do it, there'll be some people like, all right, hang on, what? Some are going to overreact. Some are going to underreact. Some are like, we don't know. How do you handle it? But everybody else, we don't give a shit. This is my very extreme view, and I know it, but it's like, no. Everyone's got its, all the platitudes, all the stuff. It's like, they don't want to hear it. 100%. It's like, why not?
It's so difficult. I mean, we have funding for suicide prevention if for the right reasons. I mean, and I'm hoping that in the future there's will be more funding. But
prevention meaning what though?
Prevention meaning, I guess, just
preventing
suicide.
But it's not working.
Preventing
But the numbers are going up. I think
but
that's
that could be Carl. That might not be fair.
And the caring part of me is like, I want that in place because
I think it depends on the demographics, right? Like, I like, for instance, when someone that did do suicide prevention for one time, it's like pronouns are important for trans people. Right? Like,
sure.
The person might even say them pronouns, it makes a big difference. When you're in race, spaces, it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you feel included or when you feel a friend, you have a friend, you have community, but the United States has become isolated so much, and it was built that way on the eye, right? And now you're dealing with a mental health crisis because we are now are feeling very isolated. And
the shit's over. So
it was built
it's done.
Right? But I
think you can undo it.
There are pieces of prevention that could be helped.
But
if we had better elderly care.
Right. So you're talking real prevention, like getting people access to good food. Like, oh, that's real prevention. But most people, when they say, no, I could be wrong. I think in my experience, when people talk prevention, I'll tell you what I'm going by. Facebook algorithm, because I have a page that is dedicated to suicide. So I see all of it, right? It's not hard to find. It's not the algorithm. I don't see all of it. I see a lot of it. Biggest organizations. And I don't see a lot of prevention equals. Sometimes you see here and there of like better health, like better housing. Respect. It's really good. 988. Just talk about it. 988. It's like, that's what in my lens of, that's what we are calling prevention. And that's what I get really angry about. I think it's an absolute failure for 90% of people.
Oh, absolutely. It's rightfully so.
Yeah.
And it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work because you're on the phone for 90 seconds before somebody picks it up.
I mean,
and then at the end of the day, like, again, if I know, and I know myself well, if I know in that moment what I need to emotionally regulate and get through that moment is somebody to come over and take a walk with me or have a cup of tea or let's just, hug it out. Like, that person on the other line isn't going to be able to do that for me, right? They're just texting or they're just talking or whatever. And it's like, that's not what I need.
No.
I know what I need, and that's not it. And you've talked to folks on the podcast who were unhoused, and they're like, hey, this is what I need. Like, I need some housing. I need some food. I need some safety and security.
Right.
Part of, you've talked to very few people who haven't had really traumatic lives. And I think that's the other piece. Can we please talk about
I probably track that. Like that's
stop brutalizing people. Like, let's talk about that because that absolutely contributes to people not wanting to.
Of course,
that was a huge impetus for me as a child. I was like, people suck. They hurt me. I don't want to be. Bye. I don't want to do this.
I think there's like a small percentage of people. I don't know. Actually, there's a number of people. I think probably skewing younger, probably skewing towards first experience, where it's like that person on the 988 was what they needed. Like, I don't know how to handle this. What if my parents aren't here? I'm freaking out. Right. You have someone who's calm, right? That is a small percentage of, well, it's so fine for that, but it's, and maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I'm seeing it through lenses. There's an assumption that is the answer for all people. It's like, that is for most people, absolutely not the answer. The other problem that I have is I don't understand why there's a lack of transparency of what happens when you call. It's very strange that well, I should know if I answer yes to the imminent work question, what's going to happen? That's like I'm an adult, even if I weren't. Why is that a surprise? And there was somebody I was talking to recently who worked on one of those lines, and she said, no, I tell them if you answer yes to these. So I said, I don't, is that becoming more common? Because I think what they think is not we need to trick you into saying yes, because you really might be this way. And we need you to be honest, but it's, if they know they won't be honest, they won't get the help they need, they'll thank us later. You know,
but when
like
you're
we need you to get the help you need. So answer on blah, blah, blah. But it's like, but you shouldn't be in, like, you know what I mean? So if the help is handcuffs and forced this, and it's like,
but Sean, I go to the doctor often and I get my eye injections and they ask those questions. Do you feel safe at home? Do you have thoughts of wanting to hurt yourself? How many days a week?
More and more they ask it everywhere.
And I say, yes, yes, yes. And every now and then I'll have a little tech person turn and say, do you want to talk to somebody about this? And what I say is, there's nobody here that can help me.
Right.
That ophthalmologist is a very nice man. He's not going to be able to help me in this moment. And I just keep staring forward at the wall. And sometimes I cry. And I'm just like, why are you even asking me these questions?
Why do you think they ask
you don't
the
care.
ophthalmologist?
Because it's just standard protocol. They put it in the chart.
Yeah, the whole part of it is become a legal liability. And we are not talking about the legality.
No, that's for sure. Yeah.
If you call that number and they don't do anything, they can get sued.
So they do, but so how do they handle that? Then
they have to do what's going to put them in the best legal space, where they're asking you all the questions and then they're trying to hold space for you. I don't know. I think it also depends on your personality. Like I usually when I'm having a plan and I'm making it, I've been known to leave. I've dropped my kids off and I know exactly what plan I'm going to make, and I'm about to hit work, and I'll just turn around and I'll go right into, I'll just admit myself for 4 hours.
I didn't realize.
It works. You know what I mean? At that end of the 4 hours.
Yeah, well, you know you.
Well, I think part of it is also I just need a safe space for a significant amount of time where I don't have to problem solve.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Right. I get problem solving fatigue. And so that stops my whole life for 4 hours, where I don't have to take care of anybody. And that used to be my methodology.
I think there's something I'm struggling with, because I think the thing that you brought up about community, and there's something about somebody knows that so you said that you were going to kill yourself, or you're threatening something. And this feel like, I'm really having a hard time articulating this. And so there's this idea that the person who hears it has to take some kind of action. Feels like a spy to me. I know it's going to sound really weird, but it's not that it's a spy. It feels to me creepy. And also,
you have an ideation, but if you really want to do it, I feel like if the people that I have known to complete, they didn't tell anyone,
right?
Because of shame and guilt.
They were done.
They were done.
I get it.
Right? They were over it. There was more conversation. Right. There was nothing to be
done. Done.
And so if we know the truth of the matter, right? If someone actually says they have a plan, they actually are not really done, possibly.
Sure.
There's a piece there that they're not really jumping off the cliff.
No, that was a really good pun, actually.
I usually oh, you know what I mean? Right? So, but all that to say, if they are reaching out, that means that they actually do want a little bit. They want to be held just a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, I think so.
They're holding on to something. So it does make you a liability because you're the last person they would possibly hold it on to.
Well, I wouldn't have a problem if I was the last person. I mean, I don't think.
Or someone.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I think I do a better job than some others. At least you have to talk to somebody who gave a shit. Yeah. But I
think it's really interesting, that notion. Because I think, no.
And I also, just to answer your original question, am super, I stay in my lane. I don't pretend that I have, I'm a podcaster. No. And I talk to mostly strangers, and it's a one-off. I don't pretend that I should be giving any dropping wisdom on, but I do think people can take some things from that and apply and say, how do you get people to open up? Well, that's a skill. Even if they're wanting to be on, some of them are not so quick to open up. All right. So how do you do that? All right, there's ways to do it. Right?
I think there's more than not. I think that there's more people that do give a shit than I think that leads. I think that sometimes it feels healthier to feel like everybody knows.
Yeah, right.
To me, that's a good thing.
Right.
Because I know that there are people on my phone that annoy the shit out. But if they call me and they do it all the time, I don't invoice them, right? And they will be on the phone for 3 hours, but that's what they need.
Yeah, but you're probably a really good listener, right?
No, I suck at it.
I don't believe you.
I'm a talker.
That's not what good, but those are not the opposites.
I think part of it is that I'm a good humaner. Like, I'm okay with humans being humans.
Yes.
And I think I have empathy towards a lot of humans and have had a hard life. And I understand that had I not had one human or two humans there, I'm going to be here. But I think there are a lot more people like that.
Yes.
It's just that if everybody thinks that no one is going to be there, then nobody's going to be there for nobody. Right?
I think people are really busy.
I think that we're also distracted. I think
we're really distracted.
We are also under the most amount of stress in our society that we've ever experienced as human experience, right? Where we...
It's adding the busy, distracted. We don't learn certain skills. So you might have it, I might have it, you might have it. You might figure it out as you go along, but like, people don't really learn.
So
right. All of it is just massive. Right. Because we're not working 2 jobs necessarily. 3. No, you know what I'm saying? Well, if you have the luxury, the time is a luxury when you're just, you said something about community and then connecting this to this. You knew that your friend was reaching out, so probably she wasn't done yet. And there's something about what you said with community and basically how we don't have that. Because what we're trying to do, it feels like, and I'm not going to have the words for this exactly, is we're trying to create fake community. So it's like all of this stuff is as if we are a community. Because the only way for you to really know and help, like the 988 who doesn't know you, like, come on, is if I know you a little. And I have the time. But we don't have that. And we're not going to have that. So let's pretend like it looks like that, but it doesn't work that way. Just like a lot of these.
What the young person is struggling with the most.
Yeah.
This person is literally saying exactly.
Right. It's all bullshit. Is that saying
it's all bullshit, or people are facadic, or people have different intentions, or people don't know how to show up for other people, or people are using each other, right? Also, conversation around collective liberation, right? Who's included, who isn't included, right? Who has privilege, who doesn't have privilege. All of these dynamics of fake community.
It's a fake. It feels like a lot of bullshit. And I try to check myself because I'm like, God, these organizations, right? Some of them, like, they're doing some really good things. So I'm just seeing this one little, why don't you understand what I'm doing? Like, I know there's a lot of that, like, little bitch boy stuff that I'm doing about myself. I know, but it really does feel that way. Yeah. And that it's like, I've never been able to find the words. Like, what? There's something so off about it.
Yeah.
Because we're not real.
It's not.
We're not
authentic about it. We're not.
And we can't have authentic relationships, right? Like, if I tell you right now you've offended me and I tell you exactly what it is. In New York, we can do that. And we can respect each other after the conversation. In most spaces, it's not like that. People are very passive aggressive. They get very defensive automatically. People can't deal with conflict. And, coming from a space of like being a BIPOC human, that's all we do. I come into the house as a Puerto Rican and my family is like, they're just saying exactly what they feel. And I'm over here throwing shade back. Right?
That's authentic though.
Like, it's authentic. Nobody is holding their tongue for nobody else, right? And there's none of that. There's no authentic.
There isn't. And I think the intention of my AA is a great. I'm actually.
It's
a great resource. I'm
just going to know what it is
during the time when I have 988 along 911, but it's scientific and it's.
You just got to know what it is. It has a purpose. Know what the purpose is, but don't get confused by it because you'll be disappointed and sometimes incarcerated.
Yes.
So just know what it is. Yeah. Know what it is, then it will work fine.
Right.
But I don't like when the messaging, I know we're talking about it, so I'll shut up, is, but it's so much. No, it's not more. It is what it is. It serves a purpose, but it's not all these other things. And the largest, and who were you going to listen to? You're an 18-year-old kid, and the biggest organizations are saying, yes, this is the answer. You're an idiot not to listen. And this is my problem.
I know. Yeah.
So without naming names, they're large. They're well-funded.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they're, and I'm sure they mean well, but
Yeah.
there's a reason why they're pushing this narrative.
I mean, it does. It becomes
Well,
not authentic.
Yeah, but I think last thing I'm going to say is that I think all of this is a huge nuance that we're not talking about.
Right.
When we talk about mental health is like us talking about it blatantly is like 10 years old.
I know, right?
15 years
Tiny.
old, right? It's a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about like even suicide, this is a huge nuance, right?
Huge.
Finally getting to a point, or even postpartum depression, right? I remember when 5 years ago, postpartum depression became like a conversational piece. And I remember when I was 16 years ago, when I was going through it, people thought I was crazy because I did not feel connected to my child.
Mm-hmm.
I have bipolar disorder and PTSD. So then having a hormone shift, of course, no one even told me there was a such thing as postpartum depression, right? And I think sometimes when we have these conversations, we also have to realize that like these are the baby steps to get us into these more, hopefully, into these more authentic places that we are doing more research, more data-informed decision-making around it. I think people should have access to do it. Like to, like, and their lives.
Suicide's always going to be treated differently, I think.
It's going to be.
Yeah.
So
I think because it's an action.
treated differently.
I think because it's an action and it's not a condition. For lack of a better word, it's not a feeling. Yes, you could have suicidal ideation. That might be recognized by the DSM-4. Fine. But I think because of, and I hope I'm wrong, by the way. It's an action, and that's different. You're doing something. You're doing something. All the stuff that makes you do it, that might get the attention. But the actual act, I don't know. I mean, in my lifetime, there's no way. Because I hear people, we're not more open about suicide conversations. I don't think. We're way more open about certain threads within mental health, mental illness, like you just pointed out. Suicide, I actually think it's regressed a little bit. I think it's bizarrely bad.
I think that it's hitting a back burner because also then society is trying to abuse us.
Yeah, man.
Right? So why wait? This is not the time to act.
Right.
Right? Like, it's like the conversation around not having more children.
Right.
Right? Like, I think that if we gave ourselves more autonomy to do a lot of other things, then this would be on the docket. But that goes against what capitalism and what, right? Like all of those pieces. Because if someone has access to pills, right? Like, let's be real. It is a financial thing. Someone has access if they want to leave to leave.
Yeah, of course.
There is a.
And also, this is something I have really thought about. And I asked it, I'm like, careful how I asked it. I'm like, why didn't you kill yourself if you wanted to kill yourself? Because there are ways that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You go to a high enough place, you're not living. Mm-hmm. Now, you might not have access. So that's not me wanting someone to do it. I'm wondering, what's going on?
I don't think your body, like when you were talking about, like when your body hits the water, even if you know mentally you don't want it to be, right? If your body is able to save itself, it will do it, right? So it's like the mind-body connection is at a different place.
It becomes completely different, right?
Yeah.
The instinct and...
Because there are so many people that have really mentally wanted to do it, but their body will try to save them.
Can't drown.
Yeah. Well.
You could drown only if you put weights on, right? You cannot drown yourself.
Your brain will tell you.
You cannot drown yourself. Yes.
So it was like air, oxygen, breath. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm sure someone's done it where they're like, nope, I'm just going to stand there.
Like you're asking your body to do something.
Everything.
It's not going to naturally want. It's been actually trying to survive.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
collectively, evolutionarily for so long. But you are not to do that. That's why I think it's the craziest, fucking insanely, I know I shouldn't use those words, just the most, I don't know, like not coward. It's like the opposite.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's so hard.
Yeah. It's a lot of amount.
And it just tells me how much pain somebody's in. Hey, we're coming to the tail end of our convo.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. We probably have to wrap it up.
Yeah. I'm frustrated because what is meant to be authentic, authentic health turns into something very scientific and we're going to put you here on a subject you out of hold. And the person doesn't want to be a subject you out of hold. They just want
connection.
A connection.
Sometimes that's all they want.
Sometimes
they need a lot more. Sure.
Community. And sometimes they just want to be by themselves.
Segueing over to Boulder, where there were some other things that came up in that conversation that did not come up in Colorado Springs. So I'm sort of tagging that on to the end of this podcast to hear more from DeAnna in the Rockies. There's things that came up the other day that I think there's also some things you're doing now to specifically prepare.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of foresight there.
Being very intentional about preparatory acts, doing things that scare me, doing things that get my heart racing. So I learned how to ride a motorcycle. I'm taking some rock climbing courses so that I can be comfortable at heights.
So hang on. So this is not just, I want to enjoy this. It is, I want to prepare for that moment.
It's a both and. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to get there and
then not do it. Yeah. And then be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
Then what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then at that point, you have already donated all your money to the Suicide Noted
podcast
project.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Sorry, dude.
Can't give back.
Someone that you stayed alive. Sorry.
Spent all the money already.
I'll pay for your flight back. And then you're on your own. If there were somebody that absolutely somehow magically you knew for sure would be there in the way exactly you wanted them to be there, would that change your mind?
Mean if they would kill me for me?
No. So you said that you don't want someone you don't trust people.
Right.
To be there for you in the way you want them to. If I could guarantee you that there would be one person that was there and showed up the way you wanted them to be with that.
If we had
I'm not trying to talk you out of it.
If we had like a magic wand.
No, I can't. No, I'm not taking anything about the slow down.
Yeah.
That's nature.
Yeah.
You want to off yourself earlier? That's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm really because you heard about the control.
Yeah. If we had a magic wand and we could magically make somebody appear that I knew definitively guaranteed that they would be kind to me until I took my last breath, then yes.
Okay. Wow, let's tell him. We need a new pill. One's pink and purple. I gotta get another pill.
But people are not trustworthy.
No. Can I ask this question? Why do you ideate? Actually, I'm more curious of what it feels like, what you think about, or how it presents. You know?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the day. I think some days feel relatively okay, and I want to stay in that moment, and some days are not okay, and I want to fast forward through the next 18 years and 364 days. And then there's probably some variation in between. And I will tell you that it makes those okay moments that much sweeter because I sit in them and I enjoy them because I know they're finite and they're really special. And and I tell people sometimes when I have an experience with them, and I tell them, these are some of the beautiful memories that are going to sustain me when things are really hard. So thank you for being part of that. Thank you for helping me create that happy memory or that, whatever it is, because that's going to hold me on for just a second longer. Yeah, I'm very open with people. I don't hide it. People know, and they're either comfortable. Let me back that up. They're either okay with me saying it periodically, or they completely shut me down and I just don't even mention it.
People shut you down. Why are they in your life? Because you have no choice for them to be there?
Well, I like them other than the fact that I know that the reality is that they're not really there for me.
So much nicer. This person is you. This is why I don't have any friends. I don't have any friends because you can't handle that. So you have a little space you create for them. That's like, all right.
Yeah, we can hang out. We can do this thing.
Yeah.
And no further.
We can make art together.
Sure.
Or we can walk the dogs together.
100%.
Other things.
Go paddle boarding, have some lunch, but we're not going to have real conversation. Just as when my partner passed and grief was part of who I am and it is still part of who I am, to have a real conversation with people, for me, a real conversation has to include the totality of who I am in that moment. And if you want me to edit myself out, then that's not a real conversation.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
That's why it makes me nuts. People can't do it.
Yeah.
And I get visibly annoyed.
Yeah. They want the edit button. I have a family member who now at this point just asks me, how are you physically feeling?
Right.
Because they don't want to hear about any of my emotional life at all. And they've made that very clear.
And so they specifically
they specifically say, how are you feeling physically? Because in the past they've said, how are you feeling? And then I go off on this conversation about my emotional life. And that makes them very uncomfortable. Yeah. And so now they just literally give me parameters. How are you feeling physically?
Can we role play this for a moment? Can we do this?
Sure.
Well, I don't know how I would respond, and I want to play this game. It's not I guess it depends on who it is. So what would you say? How are you feeling physically? What do you say?
I lie and I say I'm fine. I just flip it. I mean, especially if people are like, if I know that they really don't want the truth,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, "How are you doing?" And I'm like, and so there's this quick calculation in your head of like, what do they really want to hear? Am I comfortable in telling them the truth? And if I don't, then I just flip it and I say, you know what? The better question is, how are you doing? And then they go with it. Most people love to talk about themselves.
Of course.
And so they're just like, blah, 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 and they never come back around but that wasn't the original question. The original question was, how are you doing?
Because they don't. Right.
Because they don't care. And if they don't really care, then I'm not going to tell them.
I don't know if that's the reason.
No, that's the reason. They don't care.
Well, sometimes what happens to me in the podcast, I have that, and it's probably for different reasons. These people, in my case, like they're just overwhelmed and they're trying to 10 minutes in. I'm like, so let's get back to the question I asked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I understand it, sir. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You do have to give a shit.
Yeah.
Because it makes it then rather easy to be like, no, actually, all of that, I still don't actually know how you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you didn't say that. So now I just want to know that because actually that's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Then it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Because you just want to know.
Yeah.
So.
And that totally flips the switch.
Yeah.
And then I lean in and then I will be honest and vulnerable. And then I will have a deeper connection with that person and have a lot more respect for them.
Right.
I have very little respect for most people I encounter.
Oh, I think I really just it's getting way worse. Doesn't apply to you. Thanks for talking, DeAnna. As always, thanks so much for listening and all of your support. Special thanks to DeAnna in Colorado. Thanks, DeAnna. And of course, to our lively and engaged audience. If you are a suicide attempt survivor or ideator and you'd like to talk, please reach out. I'd love to talk with you. hello@suicidenoted.com. This has been a long episode and a good episode, so I'm just going to stop it right there. That's all for this week. Stay strong. Do the best you can. I'll talk to you soon.